Hey guys, welcome back to another Licks live stream. It is Friday. So today we're going to dive into some licks you can use on blues jams in E. And there's some double stops. There's a little bit of whammy bar action. There's a little bit of a little touch of jazziness in there. Yeah, we'll talk about some various ideas and techniques along the way. Let me play the licks for you first. Here we go. Okay, so we've got 4 little bursts, so we can separate them into 4 licks basically. Let me play them for you one more time. All right, so basically these licks come from a slow blues jam in E that is linked below, so you can click on that and experiment with the licks on that, and you can also watch the solo there, and this is basically a snippet of a whole solo, so you can watch the whole solo there. And there's also a tab for it that's linked below. There's a direct link to the tab. And the tab is on Patreon. That's where absolutely all of my tabs are. There's almost 200 tabs on there now, along with scale maps, lessons, all sorts of stuff. So check it out. My Patreon is linked below as well. All right, so let's dive in, guys. I want to show you how to play this. So first of all, we got a double stop. Nice and classic kind of blues double stop, right? I'm going to use my 3rd finger and my 2nd finger, and I'm going to slide from 3rd fret on the G string with my 3rd finger, and 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the B string. So, and I'm going to slide up 1 fret with both of them like that. Okay, and I'm going to do that twice. Like that. Okay, so that's a little bit of a double stop lick for you. Okay, after that, we're gonna let them ring. And then we're gonna do this note here, the A note on the 2nd fret of the G string. Play that with your 1st finger right there. And then we're gonna do another double stop, this time involving an open string, the B string, and also the G string. We're going to hammer on to the 1st fret of the G string from the open string, like that. So it's basically, you can see in the video, and I'm doing it now as well, I'm basically forming an E major chord, the most basic E major chord, even though I'm not actually playing the lower notes. I'm thinking E major, and I'm just playing an E major chord, but I'm actually only playing those 2 notes there, the B string, the open B string, and the 1st fret on the G string that I'm hammering onto with my 1st finger. Okay, and then we let those ring, and we add the top E string to that. So, and then you can give that a nice little bit of vibrato as well. So that's our first lick. Okay? So that's your kind of starting intro lick. Let me play it for you one more time. Here we go. Now next up we got... Okay, so what was that? So here, we're starting to think A7, because it goes to from the 1 chord, the E7, to the 4 chord, the A7, okay? So what we're doing here is basically walking up the arpeggio here with a sweep. So this is our second lick. You're basically sweeping, if you look at the A chord right here, an A major chord, we're taking the top 3 notes, the C sharp on the 6th fret of the G string with your second finger, and barring with the first finger on 5 and 5, top 2 strings. And I'm sweeping that with my right hand, so with the picking hand, right? So that's something to practice. So not letting them ring, sort of letting go of each note as soon as I've played it. So that's a little bit of a subtle thing. But that's what creates, a sweep. Same way that a piano player would do like that, or a horn player would be able to do it real fast. It's that kind of thing, right? Okay, so I'm going down, 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 up. Okay? Now we're gonna go down the E minor blues scale. Yeah? It's just the E minor blues scale. So after doing that little arpeggio sweep, we're gonna go 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the top E string, right there, and then we're gonna pull off from 6 to 5 on the same string, the 2nd finger to the 1st finger. Okay, and then we're gonna pull off with the little finger to the 1st finger on the B string, 8 to 5. Okay. Okay. So that's a tasty little lick in itself, So as always, I highly recommend, taking tiny little bits like that of licks that you like, not necessarily these ones, any lick that you like, and really try to just work on that lick, put it into different keys, try it out, see if you can transpose it to a different key, and try it out also in the same key, but on different jam tracks that have different feels, so that, you have to kind of twist and turn it a little bit, and eventually the more you do that, it turns into language, it turns into not just a lick, but it turns into your language. So, you got to kind of pay the bill and do that work in order for a lick to become your language and really become, a real part of your playing. So, and it's fun, it's fun to do that work, to really improvise, using specific phrases and working those phrases into your vocabulary as a musician. So anyways, that's a fun little phrase. And after that we play this note again, the E note there on the 5th fret of the B string, and give it some vibrato, okay? And then hammer on to the 8th fret again after the vibrato, like that. Okay, so that was okay. So we're halfway through. That was 2 of the 4 licks right there. Okay. Now let me play it for you, and then we will move on to the next part. Okay, so next up we have again some double stop action. Okay, so we're sliding again into that shape because it's you know, still the A chord, the 4 chord that we're on here. So we're sliding into what you could see as a part of an A chord right there. You know, I'm always thinking in chord tones. That's where a lot of the color lies. Okay, so we're sliding from 4 to 6 with the 3rd finger on the G string, and then playing the 5th fret on the B string with the 2nd finger, and then going back to 6 on G. You can let them all ring right there, right? And then we're going to take that shape and move it 2 frets down. Okay? Into, now this lands right on the, when we go back to the E chord, you know, it lands on that, which is basically the 5th and the flat 7 of the E chord. So it's like spelling out an E7, basically, nice and bluesy kind of thing. And this one we're going to give also a little bit of a shake with the whammy bar. Okay? And then the final phrase is this. It's the same thing up there, just up the octave. So, you know, I've said this before, but I always like to think of solos as a conversation, you know. So it's like if you can add on to something you've already said by saying something that relates to what you just said, that always makes for more of a, you know, conversation that's you know, more interesting to listen to for the listener, right? So that's what's happening here. I'm going, so I'm there, and I'm like, how can I respond to that? Well, I can play a sort of answer phrase to that phrase by using the same shape but up the octave. Okay, so that's, I guess, what's happening there. If you know, I'm sort of analyzing it after the fact. You know, obviously this was all improvised, but yeah, that's what's going on there. And then, so here we're going again, adding some blues, you know, with the blues scale, the E minor blues scale, by sliding from 15 to 16 on the G string with the 3rd finger. Okay? And then playing the 15th fret on the B string with the 2nd finger. Okay? And here I'm opting for not the whammy bar, but instead just a good old shake of the fretting hand. I love that kind of thing, you know, and this kind of double stop lends itself really well to that kind of thing. Like this. So I'm sliding up to 16, playing 15, and then again going back to 16 and back to 15, and I'm letting them all ring out. And then giving them that good shake right there, right? Like that. So that's obviously a lick in itself as well. You know, you can play around with that, you know, endlessly, you know, on a track like this. Obviously, like I said, the track is linked below, so you can always click on that and have a go on playing these licks on that track. Okay, so now I was just trying to, you know, play around with the licks like that. And as I say, you know, that's how to make these licks into language and really make them part of your playing. You know, any lick that you learn, not just these ones, do what I just did, you know, put on a jam track and really try to mess around with it and use it in as many different ways as you can. That way it becomes your language over time. So, and it's fun. It's a fun way to practice. So there we go, guys. Let me play the 4 licks for you one more time. Remember, there's, if you need the tab, it's linked below. And with that link there, you won't just get that tab, you'll get access to absolutely all of my tabs. So it's a lot of stuff. Here we go. All right. That is it. Appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for the support on Patreon. As always, makes a huge difference to me. Yeah, just really appreciate you guys. Thanks again, and I will see you very soon. Take care, guys.